Live. Cool. Welcome, everybody. We are doing our November 2022 update roundup. So every month we do this. We talk about what's new, what's coming up ahead, some of the exciting things that we're working on, and it's always exciting here. So it is every first Thursday, unless we announce a change on that at this time. This does go live on YouTube. This does go live on Facebook. So if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you do so. There's a bell icon. Hit it because when we're live, it'll be like, hey, these people are live. You should go watch them. So do hit that. And I also make quite a bit of announcements on our Instagram. So feel free to also join us under pebble.rei. You can find us on Instagram. So we're going to get started right away. And it's great to see some of you guys are joining us here today. You guys can ask questions in the chat. We should be able to see it on our system here. So please, if you got questions, throw it in the chat. And I know I announced this earlier today. Those of you guys that are joining us here, I've got some hat giveaways. So we will we'll get around to that in a little bit. So let's get started here. My screen. Yeah, we got some new hats.
Jesse, are you doing No Shave November with me here?
No, Movember, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll do that.
Okay. Well, I'm doing it. So come next update roundup, I'm going to be sporting the beard.
Right on. Okay, cool. Let's jump into it, guys. November 2022. We're coming close to the end of the year. As usual, a big thank you to all of you guys for all the feedback that you guys give us. Feedback is huge for us, and the support that you guys give us as well. Sometimes this is probably similar for you guys. You guys are always head down working. So it's always nice to hear from you guys. So thank you so much to our users, our community, our followers, all of you guys. All right, so let's jump into our latest updates here. So the first one we have here, we have introduced splitting campaigns. This has been something that a lot of people are making huge wins with. I'm going to be talking more and more about this, running split tests. It's becoming more and more important, in fact, to run split tests. So you can actually split a campaign in half and run half of that campaign with one mailer and half that campaign with another mailer. And why do we do that? We sort of pit one version of a mailer against another. This is how we can find out what's performing and get data from that. So you know that next time, hey, this is the one that performs better. I'm going to do a variation of this versus another one on my next campaign. So now there's actually a logical way to actually increase on your response rates. This is very common in the digital marketing world. We split test landing pages all the time. We split test newsletter all the time. We split test buttons all the time. Now we do enough numbers inside with our mailing, but previously with a mail house, they don't have access to your campaigns and how you're running they're all they're doing is just accepting the mailing and getting them out. But what Pebble does is we acknowledge that data and we can sort of make sense out of that data. In fact, Kevin, did you have that pulled up on your screen? Do you want me to share your screen how to do that?
I do have it pulled up if you'd like to.
Yeah, just maybe a quick click.
Okay, are you seeing my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay, so here I am in a campaign here. I've got a test campaign. This has got 125 mailers. So what I can do is click over here in the corner, this little drop-down list, and we have this new option now called Split Campaign. So if I click that, it'll bring up a little modal here that will say what it's going to create. So it's going to create two campaigns. It's essentially going to leave the campaign I currently have and then create a new campaign and move half of the mailers over there. So I'll confirm that I want to do that. I'll click Split Campaign. There we go. So now if I go back to my campaigns list, I have my campaign A and my campaign B, and those are split accordingly. So now I can just go in and reactivate the B campaign or the A campaign, however I want to do that. And you'll have your 2 campaigns. So really just a couple clicks and you've got a split test going.
Yeah. So huge. I encourage you guys, I hear like people ask me all the time, what mailer works, and nobody knows unless you have data for it. And for everybody, it's a little bit different because we're doing different sort of letters. So it's really important that you sort of benchmark and split test on your mailing campaigns. Cool.
Mhm.
We have a new way, a changed way of bringing in properties. It's actually not that different, but the big change here is when we're bringing in properties, we're no longer asking you the mailing settings. Typically, when you brought in properties, we assume that you're going to mail through Pebble, but we also recognize the fact that you guys are looking to try different ways of marketing. You might be doing maybe a texting campaign, a cold calling campaign. Maybe you're mailing with a different mail house. And we encourage you to try a different mail house and maybe also split test against our mail house, see how it performs. So from now on, when you're bringing in properties, you're just bringing in the properties. And if you'd like to mail those properties, you would just activate that campaign, and then it'll ask you what your specifications for the mailing itself. So there is a change on that. In fact, I think the workflow makes just more sense. You're not just diving straight into mailing right away. So if you're doing eventually, if you're doing other kind of campaigns outside of Pebble, that means you can track for their response rates now as well. So you can sort of track for the different kind of marketing, outbound marketing that you're doing, and the performances of those marketing methods. Okay.
Mhm.
We talked about this last time. We've got what we call our Patlive submission page. Really, it should be a call answering service submission page. Now you are going to be able to create a form, and it's just an external link you can share with your call answering service. You don't need a website for this anymore. They would go there, submit their property. That'll come right into Pebble. They don't need to email anything. You can write out qualification questions to qualify the leads on that as well. I think we're working on the article on how to do this, but that is something that is going to be live here shortly. So we've called it on this slide a Patlive submission page. I'm going to keep going for now. One that I didn't actually write here, but before, sorry. Okay, right. We also changed the way we are displaying our map now. It used to be a pop-up. It kind of got in the way, so now it's on the side. So hopefully that cleans up the experience. I'll let Kevin share his screen here really quickly. You can see now when you click into a parcel, you want to pull up that parcel's data, which you can do so in Pebble. It'll be on the left sidebar there.
Yep. So before it was kind of a pop-up, and sometimes that would get in the way of the thing you were looking at. It would like cover up and go off the screen, and so it was a little bit janky.
Yeah.
So we've now moved that to a sidebar. It just makes everything very clear. You still have the same functionality where you can select a parcel. Maybe over here, you find that the parcel you're actually looking at is different than what we had drawn for you. So you can still click that set boundary and change those boundaries if you need to. Yeah, it's just a nicer way of showing that parcel data.
I'm babbling here, but let me scroll back into here. Before we go on to the last point, one thing that I didn't write is our good friend Brent Bowers. If you know him, please say hello to Brent from Land Sharks. An awesome guy. He's got a great mastermind as well and great program. But he was one of the people that asked us, hey, can you get these kind of designs into the system? So Pebble is very flexible in terms of the kind of designs and letters you want to bring in. You can literally hire somebody to create a design on any design program, even Canva if you'd like, which a lot of people use to make invitation cards and whatnot. And he said, hey, I want these check designs. So we recently launched these, and one of our team members, Diana, she's been working hard to put these together for you guys. So now we've even got these new check designs. I know we've been hearing more and more about using checks. So this is just another way to show people how serious you are about offering cash payment for their property. So do check it out. We're always adding new templates into our template library. So do check that out. That is new inside of the system. Awesome. All right, let's go on here. The Chrome extension. Kevin, you want to talk quickly about this?
Sure. Yeah, we've recently shipped a bunch of extension updates, some fixes for things that people were noticing. So that actually should be live today, or if it's not already. We have to submit it through the Google review process, so it takes a few days for those things to get out. But we have more sites now. So let's see what we have. Landwatch.com, landmodo.com. We fixed up some things with what was it, Redfin and Zillow. So now we should have most websites done. So if you go to your favorite land listing website, click the extension there, you should see properties being pulled into the extension. If there is a site that does not work and you would like us to add, please let us know what that is, and we can look into adding it.
Yes. Sorry, I'm here. I'm pulling out some hats here, guys. If you you know what, throw us a question in the chat for those of you guys that are here. I mean, feel free to ask anything. We're going to get to a Q&A session here. If you throw in something in the chat and you know, like a real question, we're going to send you guys a hat. All right. We've got these Land is Messy hats here. Okay. So throw your questions in there because we're going to do a Q&A. And sometimes me and Kevin feel like, is there actually anybody in here? So please do that. And we'll get to those answers at the end of these few slides here. All right. What's coming up ahead? So we have, this has been asked a lot.
Multiple return addresses. So right now, when you sign up for Pebble, we ask for your company mailing address. And then every letter that you send out of Pebble, whether it's a campaign or just doing a one-off mailer, we will use your company return mailing address as your address. Now, you can type in a different one, but we'll just default it to the company mailing address. The problem with that is, like most people in this business, you may have multiple return mailing addresses, or you may have multiple company names that you're using. So what we've done is or what we will be doing is adding the ability to have multiple addresses inside of Pebble. And you can select which one you want when you're sending a campaign or sending a one-off letter. And it'll just make it a lot easier than having to like change your name every time you send something out.
Yes, I know this one has been asked for a lot, so do look out for this. I know I said questions in the chat, but if you want to throw a feature you feel like that you've been waiting for or super excited about, I will include that as part of this hat giveaway. So not much effort to get a hat here, guys. All right, I'm going to keep going here. Kevin.
Chrome extension, exporting properties. So we are going to add the option that you can pull in your properties. We'll populate your properties in the Chrome extension, and then export those as probably just a CSV list. So that'll be coming here shortly.
And Bridget actually just asked this question here. When do you think you'll be able to have? Yeah, so that's coming shortly. I think we're probably still a few weeks out from there. So we'll be working on that. All right. Kevin, you want to talk a little bit about campaign stats?
So we've changed a bit of the view on the campaign. So now it used to show a progress bar linearly, so like horizontally. We've now changed that to a circular progress bar, and we've also done what Jesse mentioned a little bit earlier is we will calculate your response rates even if you have not sent mailers through Pebble. So if you've sent your mailers out through some external mail house and you still want to track those leads and what your response rates are, that will now show up. So that'll be a good addition for those who are not mailing with Pebble.
Yep. Awesome. Oh, we have this one here from last time, which we already
Oh
argued.
yeah, that's done. So that's live.
Let's talk about the next one here.
Yeah, the unified inbox. So this is sort of the big feature that we've been working on for the past couple months. And we are getting closer and closer every day to being able to release this to everybody. So we don't have an exact timeline on when this will be launched, but I promise you it will be as soon as we can get all of the things finished in here. So yeah, the this unified inbox basically makes Pebble your central hub for everything. So all of your emails, you can send emails right out of Pebble. You can receive replies to emails right back into Pebble. You'll be able to make phone calls and do text messaging, and basically all of your communication and follow up can all live within Pebble, and it all ties seamlessly into your existing Pebble data. So when you're sending a text message, we'll show you what the property is, who the person you're talking to is, all the activity that's happened on that timeline. So basically, everything can live inside of Pebble now. And for those of you who are paying for external services like Follow Up Boss or Open Phone and having your external email providers, hopefully you will be able to save money by just using everything within Pebble.
Yeah, there is going to be definitely tremendous value in that. I know a lot of people are really excited about that. It's a very complex thing to put together, but we're getting very, very close here. So hang in there. I know you guys are salivating for it as much as we are, but there are always surprises that we have to work through. So we ask you guys be patient. We're getting very, very close. So stay posted on. Again, I'm going to put this out there. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, follow us, Pebble.rei. I'm gonna be updating a lot more on there. So I might sort of clue you guys in as to what's happening, and so you don't always have to wait for these update roundups. At the same time, we have our Slack community. You can always talk to us there, but I will try to reveal more on there as we sort of progress. All right. Before we get to the questions, there's one thing that I think the whole team here has been feeling really responsible for is the amount of mailers we're getting out there in the physical world. And yes, I see the questions. We're going to get to that. But I just want to talk about one thing that we're sort of announcing here, and that's the amount of paper we are printing and mailing out there. There is a lot of paper being used here, a lot. And, as we sort of continue to use paper, we are, unfortunately, taken out a lot of trees. And so one of the things that we feel really responsible for is to give back and help with the effort of planting trees. So we've recently just teamed up with, you guys might have heard this, some people have been associated with this, but we've recently teamed up with TeamTrees. So what's going to happen is they are a replanting program, and their goal is to, I think, plant 1 billion. Oh my gosh, I forgot the number of trees now. Some absurd number of trees, and we want to be a part of that, as every sheet that comes out does come from an actual tree. So for every 10,000 sheets, that makes up one tree. That's all that one tree actually provides. And so what we're doing and what we're committing to is, for every 10,000 tree, every tree that we take down, Pebble is going to plant 5 additional trees. So I'm personally really excited about this. I know our team is really excited about this as well. This is a real thing. I know we sort of sit behind our computers. We never even sometimes see the amount of paper. I mean, we've had videos taken inside our printing press and a lot of things, and sometimes it's pretty mind blowing how many physical sheets we're handling here on a daily basis. This is really exciting to us. You guys are all going to be a part of this effort. So the more mailers that you get out, the more trees we're going to be planting in as well. So I'm personally excited about this, and I hope you guys are just as excited as we are to kind of give back from what we're sort of taking. So let's jump in to the questions, and we've got some questions here today. I'm going to pull it up here on the extension. Matt asked if there was an issue properties being listed in square feet instead of acreage. Has this been updated, and where will it be calculated? So right now, we have not addressed.
Have we not addressed it? I thought we did.
Did we? Oh, okay.
We may have. I know our developer who's working on this is aware of the issue. I believe he's fixed it, but if not, we will be fixing it soon.
Yeah.
So yes, we are aware of the issue. This is if you're looking, especially on Zillow. I believe if your lot is less than an acre or maybe half an acre, it will convert it into square feet, which is like the most who cares about the square footage of a lot or even knows what size a square footage is. Yeah. But they do that, and so yes, we need to support that. So that will be fixed if it isn't already.
Okay. Next question here, Bridget. Thank you. I think. Sorry, my bad. When will that campaign stat feature, I guess, be live?
Yes. So
here we go. Here it is. Sorry, my bad. I didn't know that was already answered. When will the campaign stat feature be available for tracking marketing for efforts outside of Pebble? So really, that is our new way of getting the campaigns in. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
Yes, it will go out on Monday with our weekly release. So next week you should see that.
Yep. We got a great question here about how long should a first-class mailer take to arrive after launching. I'm new to Pebble and launched my first campaign last Wednesday. I included myself as a recipient to see how it looks in real life and still have not received anything. Great. So what I like to say, it typically takes, so it gets batched up that evening. It gets printed the next business day, and it's possible the business day after that. Sometimes there's uncontrollables. These are physical machines, right? So there is possibility that things get delayed, but it will then get into the hands of USPS the next business day. So, and then when it's in USPS's hand, it's up to them to determine. Now they quote, I think up to 5 business days, sometimes 7 with first class. And that can really depend. Weather and disasters and all sorts of stuff.
And you can also check in Pebble, if you find that mailer in your campaign,
right. Yes.
If you click on it and it pulls up the letter, you'll see on the left-hand side we have tracking information. So you'll actually see each place that it went to. And then the last one is a delivered tracking thing. So if you see delivered, the delivered tracking status there, what that means is that the USPS has received it at their final destination. So whatever your local post office is in your area, that means that the USPS has scanned your letter into that local post office. Now, the local post office it's sort of up to them how long they take to get it out. I have seen that some local post office, when it's just like, Mary comes in on Tuesdays and delivers the week's letters, that's actually what happens at my parents' place because they live out in the boonies. Sometimes it can take a few days to actually get into your mailbox. So, but yeah, if it says delivered, that means it's at your local post office, if not in your mailbox.
Lance, thank you for the question. All right. We've got a feature request. It would be nice if team members could filter their view by their name and only see the leads that they are working on, similar to how you can filter one, lost, open, and all.
Yes, that is on our list. It's a relatively top priority for us. So yes, we will be able to search by or filter your leads or the lead board by who's assigned to the card, by like contact, or there's a few other things that we also want to add there. So yes, that is coming. Hopefully, and then hopefully next update roundup we can get that done, or if not the next. So.
Bridget, we appreciate that. Peter, we just got off a call, I believe. Is there a skip tracing integration? There isn't a skip tracing integration as of right now, but we'll definitely add that to our list if that's something you'd like to see.
One thing that I will mention is that if you're using Priced, Price is Priced, PRYCD, is a partner of ours, and they do lists and comps and all sorts of things. They recently added skip tracing to their platform. So if you go through Priced, you can ask to get email and phone numbers attached to each one of your list records. And we also integrate that into Pebble. So when you import your priced list and you select price from the data provider that you're pulling from, we will automatically pre-populate that email and phone number on the records. So that's sort of how we've left it now. We'll leave it to you to do your own skip tracing, because there's a lot of different people want to do different things. So that's sort of how it works.
Last feature request from Bridget. I love it. Last feature request for today. Would love to see your buyer and seller lead tags. Would be so useful for filtering purposes. I'd like to know, Bridget, what kind of tags would you like to see? What are the purpose of the tags? Is it for you to categorize how hot or rate how hot that lead is? Let us know a little bit about that, because we've had discussions about that, and I've heard a lot of people, and personally, with our CRM where we handle Pebble, we like to mark things if they're a hot lead or a cold lead. So is that what you're looking to do? So let me know. We're still here, so leave a comment there. Rod asks, do I need to change anything on my end to get these changes? Or do I need to do anything on my end to get these changes? So some of the features that we announced, most of them, no, you don't need to do anything. The updates will, automatically be live once we push them, once we launch them. But it's really like, if you're running a split test, yeah, you would need to actually split the campaign and do it yourself. Another example is, and you do ask here, you mentioned, would you briefly go over the third new feature, something about integration that leads and sellers can use instead of a web page? So I think that had something to do with when I talked about you don't need a website to allow for your call answering service to submit their leads to you. They can just use this new form. You just give them a link and they'll just go there and submit those leads whenever they pick up a call for someone. So that's a change in your process. So yeah, certain things you just need to actually implement it, but you don't need to update anything or anything like that. Hopefully that makes sense, Rod. Bridget, okay, great. So she got back to me about tags. She said, yes, a hot lead, do not call lead, nurture listed with a realtor.
Yep, do not call is available in our in the contact section. So if you go into the contact for that lead and you mark them as do not mail, that will prevent them from being mailed, and then it'll also put a little badge next to them, so that not to contact them again.
I totally get it about a hot lead and sort of
hot
rating
leads
that.
Something that we should probably add.
Yeah. And then she mentions here for buyer tags, we can filter by area, price range. Okay, so you want to be able to filter property type, and it gets a little bit tricky because some leads can have multiple properties under there, and it gets a little bit tricky in that. But I think one of the things that we're definitely talking about is like how hot that lead's going to be, and I think that's quite an important one that we'll probably introduce down the road here. So always appreciate these kind of discussions to get our minds tinkering here. So we'll definitely keep this in mind, and we'll get this written down here when we're sort of crossing that bridge here. We'll be revisiting this in more detail at that time. All right,
Yeah.
guys. That was awesome. We had a nice little crowd here hang out with us both on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, we got one more here. Matt asks, is having the ability to receive email notifications for when tasks become due still in the pipeline?
Yes, we have that on our list as well, and we will definitely be doing that. I don't have an exact timeline for it yet, but yes, it is definitely on our roadmap here for the hopefully near future.
Great suggestions, guys. All right, guys. Thank you so much for those of you guys that interacted, and Bridget, Rod, Lance, Peter, Matt, one of my team members, Diana. She's gonna get a hold of you guys, so look out for an email. We're gonna get your addresses. We're gonna send a hat out. You're gonna have a choice of a corded hat or a sort of a nylon sporty hat. So look out for that. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You will find us hanging around our Slack. Again, as I mentioned, I keep plugging this into you guys on Instagram. Please find me there. Other than that, thank you so much. We'll see you guys next month. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Happy land investing.